Thank you, my little production team here, who are trying to get me hung. Hilsa, Ken, Kith, Clan, and welcome guests. I am Ulrich, the player of Ulrich, Kalen's son, Jarl of Munins Vox, a sim here in the Tormark Fell region. Tonight I am going to be talking on beauty and cruelty in the Gorean world, and particularly in SL Gore. But first, let's hear from John. John, take it away.
The views and opinions expressed by Ulrich Kalenson, Jarl of Munins Vox, are not those of the owners, admins, or moderators of Ironhall or the Sims involved in the Tormark Fell region, and they cannot be held legally responsible for the views expressed by Ulrich Kalenson.
Thank you, John. As always, I would like to thank Bane and Wynn, without whom this could not be possible, and of course, Mr. John Norman, without whom this would not be necessary. So, let us get right the hell into it. Beauty and cruelty in SL Gore, or why do Goreans hate puppies? I'm going to do something I do not normally do. I'm going to slap down quotes this evening. A few of those are going to be from the books, but some of these are going to be from public writings of Mr. John Norman. Because I'm going to make a case tonight, and it's going to be a hard one. Not a hard case to make, just a hard point, meaning I'm going to be hard about it. So, let me slap down this one for you real quick, kiddies, and hope you enjoy it. Whatever. This is from Mr. John Norman. In all visualizations, one must keep in mind both taste and beauty. Gore is a perilous but beautiful world. In Gore, we find an exciting, different, dramatic reality. It is exotic, splendid, complex, and rich. It is sensuous, very sensuous. A good maxim to keep in mind is that if it is not beautiful, it is not Gorean. That is going to be part of the basis of my talk this evening. If it is not beautiful, it is not Gorean. Here's another one for you. Goreans care for their world. They love the sky, the plains, the sea, the rain in the summer, the snow in the winter. They will sometimes stand and watch clouds. The movement of grass in the wind is very beautiful to them. More than one Gorean poet has sung of the leaf of a tow tree. I have known warriors who cared for the beauty of small flowers. Now, that all sounds well and good, doesn't it? Sounds great. Gore is a beautiful world. If it's not beautiful, it's not Gorean. Goreans who have the technology to have energy bulbs, which would be somewhat akin to a light bulb, although they are larger, prefer instead natural firelight. Not because they're a bunch of primitive screwheads, but because they find it more beautiful. The relationship between a owner and their slave is supposedly also beautiful. Beautiful not only philosophically, but aesthetically. Slave girls are supposedly beautiful. Women are made supposedly more beautiful by a collar. Again, not philosophic beauty, literal beauty, aesthetic beauty. And goreans have an aesthetic appreciation of things, watching clouds. Warriors, warriors, not poets, warriors who cared about small flowers. Sounds great. Now let's contrast that to what we have in S.L. Gore. S.L. Gore is a harsh world. That's right, it's a harsh fucking world. We could give a rat's ass less about beauty. The only people that give a shit about beauty in S.L. Gore are sim owners and sim designers and fucking merchants. And when I say merchants, I mean OC goddamn merchants. People who make your clothing, who make your furniture, who make your weapons. Oh yeah, did you think I wasn't going to get started? Did you think I was going to be calm? Did you think it was just going to be me reading quotes this week? There's going to be some sort of simple, digested blathering of me going over goddamn things from the book at like some goddamn college professor? I'm here to talk about beauty and cruelty. I'm here to tell you that Gore was a beautiful world. Not just environmentally, but aesthetically. I'm here to tell you that goreans appreciated beauty and did not like hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Apparently we're having some problems with the mic. Don't really know what that is. Doing my best to adjust that so that everybody can hear. And anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I was talking about S.L. I was talking about the world we come to play in by our own free will. Nobody makes us. Nobody holds a goddamn gun to our head and says, hey, you gotta go play this game. Very few of us make any money playing this goddamn game. And, well, alright, listen, kids, listen. I understand, I got half of you telling me that you can't hear me because my mic's blowing out, and now I got the other half of you telling me you can't hear me because the mic's too far away. I don't know what to do for you. Alright? I've done my best. I'm sorry. If you can't hear me, zoom in on me. Maybe that'll help. Zoom in on me and get... No, there's no reason to be sorry. It's all cool, guys. I understand. Everybody wants to hear well. It's you know, I wish I had a better mic. If you Control Alt and click on me and then zoom closer to me, it'll go up some. So I'll do my best. I'll try to speak in a firm, loud tone, because God knows I never do that, right? Alright, here we go one more time. Once again, we come to SL, and we play in SL of our own free will. We then in SL choose to play in Gore of our own free will. Nobody makes us come here and play in Gore. We've all got our own reasons for being here. Some of us are here because our friends are here. Some of us are here because, well, there's a fair number of people here, so there's people to interact with. Some of us get off on the Gorean philosophy. Some of us get off on the Gorean sexuality. Some of us are just here for a hookup. Some of us are frustrated members of BDSM communities who figure this is a good place to get a slave girl or a master. Some of us are here because we've got nothing better the fuck to do. There's a variety and a plethora of reasons why we come into SL Gore. But once we do come into SL Gore, all of a sudden, we start being not told, but shown. I don't have an answer. That's an honest question. Why? What, does it spoil your little Gore if they're families now? Does it spoil your little goddamn Gore if the human life is going on? Because after all, you're just here to fight and fuck! There's got to be more. There's got to be more than fighting and fucking. There's got to be more. Why? Because Gore can't support its own weight based on the two pillars of fighting and fucking. First of all, it's just two pillars. It's not even fucking cornerstone. Then you don't even have four pillars to hold it up. It's not like you have a fighting, fucking, fun time, and I don't know, fiddle-dee-dee. I don't know what the next alliterative would be. Yeah, great. Okay, fighting, fucking, eating, and shitting. Great. No, you have to have more. There has to be more to this. If you're a pure role player, if you could give a rat's ass or less about Gorean philosophy, first of all, I salute you. You are a stranger in a strange land. And if that is your attitude, good for you. And you understand that there has to be more. There has to be more, otherwise there's nothing left to fucking roleplay. Fighting and fucking. Well, there ain't much roleplay with fighting, and pretty soon, how many times can you fuck? How many times can you hot chat before it becomes the same sentences over and fucking over again? There has to be more. If you're not a pure role player, if at the other end, you're a pure lifestyler, and you are here for the Gorean lifestyle and the Gorean philosophy, oh God, how can you disagree with me? How can you disagree with me that there has to be more than fighting and fucking? There has to be beauty. There has to be society. There has to be a richness. Where does that richness come from? That richness comes from depth. Depth. Depth of social interaction. Depth of familial interaction. Depth of interaction between individuals. And it is my hope that that depth would include with it, absolutely, the fiction, philosophy, and belief of Mr. John Norman that it contains beauty. He's the one that said, if it is not beautiful, it is not Gorean. I didn't fucking say that. He said that. He said that. Not me. Here's another quote from Mr. Norman. You won't find this in any of the books. This is the man talking. The slave is to be cherished and know herself the belonging of her master. She exists to love and serve her master. She is not to be abused, but enjoyed. In the collar, there are many rewards. The Gorean relation has nothing to do with hurting people. And he closes by saying yet again, because he says this more than once, if it is not beautiful, It is not gorean. There's that quote. That's from John Norman. Now, here's the argument. Well, when did he make that quote? Ulrich? When did he make that quote? You know, times change. He's written new books. Things go on. That's some quote from the 70s. Bullshit. That quote is from early 2011. That's right. That's right. That's from an interview he did earlier this year. This year. The slave is to be cherished and know herself, the belonging of her master. She exists to love and to serve her master. She is not to be abused, but enjoyed. In the collar, there are many rewards. The gorean relationship has nothing to do with hurting people. If it is not beautiful, it is not gorean. Does that mean I want Care Bears? No. What's the fucking malfunction? What is the goddamn malfunction with people? Did people not get enough love and attention from your mom and dad? Were you dropped on your heads? No! You can say that it's too hot in a goddamn room while looking at the thermostat without having to have people say to you, well, I don't want it freezing in here. Why do you want it fucking ice cold in here? Why do you want the water to turn to ice? I know what I'm saying. It's too fucking hot. I live in fucking Texas. You've got the thermostat set to 100. It's too fucking hot. It's too fucking hot. Can we bring it down to 75, 80? Do we have to have it at 100? I'm not saying it should be 32 degrees in here. And if it's 32 and I go, it's too goddamn cold in here. It's too goddamn cold in here. That does not mean I want it set to 100. I'm talking about a middle ground. I'm talking about the fact that there's too much goddamn ugliness and too much goddamn fucking cruelty in fucking gore, in SL gore. That's what I'm saying. And what makes it worse, what makes it so fucking worse, is that I'm not off page. This isn't me going, oh, you know, some of that shit John Norman works doesn't, you know, oh God. You know, Norman never wrote these books with the idea that people would try to run Sims off them. And so this idea that, you know, a woman can't step out her door without a guard, man, how are we going to make that fucking work? Because, you know, if there's not a guy logged on, you know, if a chick logs on, she's trying to role play. Yeah, good, boy, we have to find some third measure here. No! No! No, this is all straight from the fucking books, kids. This is all straight from the books. You want to, and in part, I got news for you. I got news for you. There are other gorean communities out there, by the way. Not in SL. There are other gorean communities just online. In lots of different venues. And I got news for you. We're a joke. We're the joke of the gorean community. SL gore. SL. SL. They laugh up their fucking sleeves at us. Okay? Why? Because we're known as a bunch of assholes. In a discussion today, I encountered this response from someone. This discussion was about, once again, that tired old argument of, are you by the book or are you GE? And the individual plays on a sim. And on this sim, they allow their women to be involved in outbound rating. And they don't give a shit if somebody calls them by the book. They don't give a shit if somebody calls them GE. And the query on this is, well, why do you allow that? And the answer was that the women basically have said if they it's no fun if they don't get to fight. It's no fun if they don't get to fight. And you know what I thought? You know what went through my head the minute I heard that? I thought, well, you've obviously got too much goddamn fighting going on. That's your fucking problem. If you have so much fighting going on that to be excluded from it means you don't get to have any fucking fun. And that's a reality. There are places like that. That's true. Well, then something's gone the fuck wrong. Because what that means is you have so much fighting that if you're not fighting, well, there's nothing to fucking do. Right? Well, there's no fucking role play. There's no other role for you to fulfill. There's nothing, but see, that's my point, Snow, or try role playing. Well, the point was they didn't have enough. Okay, they didn't have enough. But see, the answer is not don't role play in gore as a woman. The answer is not make a guy happy like everybody else. Okay? Because then what do you end up with? You end up with a society, nothing but guys, and all they do is they fight, and then at night they fuck what few fucking women are able to tolerate playing slaves in a world like that. There's nothing else to fucking do! How can it sustain its weight? It can't. And very quickly it simply becomes an Xbox game. And if you wanted to play an Xbox game, why not go play a real Xbox game with much better graphics than this fucking game? Probably wouldn't be as loud. Probably wouldn't be, most Xboxes are made equal. You know? Go do that. Go do that. You have a nice time. But why reduce this? Why reduce this to nothing but fighting and fucking? Fighting and fucking. It becomes two-dimensional. Gore should be rich. Gore should be able to have more to it. Gore should be able to have more to it. So that we all have something we can do. Not we eliminate an entire class of people because, oh, well, they can't fight and all we do is fight. Well, that's silly. Now, by the same token, the answer is don't let your women go on outbound raids either, because then you're not playing gore either. Alright? I'm not supporting that. I'm not saying, oh, sure, the answer to this fucking problem is to let all the women fight like all the men. No, that's not the fucking answer. That's not the fucking answer. It might be part of the goddamn problem, but it's not part of the fucking answer. It's not part of the fucking answer. Gore, please. This is a personal request from me to all of you. Please, if you take anything away from this rant, and it was not a good talk this evening. There were too many problems and other things, and I apologize. But if you take anything from tonight's discussion, please take this with you, that gore is a beautiful world. I don't mean philosophically, that's a debate. I mean aesthetically. Gore was a beautiful world. Gore was a natural world. Gore had beauty. Gore had heart. And if you take anything away from tonight's discussion, take that back with you to your home or to your city or to your sim or wherever you go in SL. Or take back with you that this does not have to merely be a game of cruelty. That this was already a world of peril and danger and harshness, and that we don't need to go higher. It was already pretty goddamn harsh. It was already pretty goddamn perilous. And we don't need to make it more perilous. We don't need to torture prisoners mindlessly. We don't need to be, tearing the skin off of people. We don't need to be putting hot pokers up women's vaginas. None of that shit that I just said did I make up to be shocking. It's all shit I've encountered. We don't need to sew people's mouths closed. These are things I have encountered in SL Gore, and we don't need them. They're not gorean. They're not a part of who we are. It makes us look like chumps and dickheads and psychopaths. So please take from tonight's talk that Gore was a world of beauty, aesthetic beauty, that Gore was a hard world, but it was not hard and harsh to the level that it's trying to be sold to you nowadays. And take that with you. Don't hate puppies. It's okay to like puppies if you're Gorean. It's okay to have kids if you're Gorean. It's okay as a warrior, to care for the beauty of small flowers. Alright? It's okay. You don't have to keep up with the ever-increasing, cruel-ass one-upmanship. Well, he was a prick, so now I have to be a bigger prick. Well, I was a bigger prick, so now he has to be an even bigger prick. So please take that with you. I will now open up the discussion to questions and comments. If you have any, please just type a exclamation point beforehand, and I'll try to get to everybody. Thank you, Lady Raven. Again, if you have any comments or questions either about this topic or in general, or something else you'd like to ask me, or if you'd like to tell me the fuck off, I'm fine with that. Shakira, go right ahead. You're first up. As Shakira's typing out her question or comment, feel free to challenge me. I don't got a thin skin. I'm not offended easily. If you think I'm full of horse shit, that's a valid comment. I'm not here to aggrandize my fucking ego. Okay, well then I'll read your thing out. Shakira said, I came here not having read any books and have seen the beauty with the eyes of a true stranger, and I agree. It is a beautiful world. I was lucky to have a lifestyler teach me. Yes, I agree. I have nothing against the lifestylers. Some of them are absolutely great. Angelica, go right ahead. Well, what I'm smoking, Silver, is I'm smoking a Dejarum Black filtered clove cigar. Is what the hell I'm smoking. Angelica says, so many women are the problem behind the things the men do. I had my head chopped off yesterday, so I know. Yes, it is a rich tapestry. It is not solely that men are at fault. It is not solely that men are at fault. But I will say this, and I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again, brothers, all you men, whether you like me calling you brother or not, what the fuck, I didn't mean it in a bad way. Brothers, it's not all our fault, but it should be our goddamn responsibility. We are in the catbird seat. We play in fucking Gore. Okay? We've got the world by the short hairs around here. Alright? Men rule. That's great. That's kick ass. With that comes responsibility. With that comes responsibility. I blame the problems of SL Gore. I place the problems of SL Gore at the feet of men. Because they're the only ones doing it? No. Because we're the guys with the voice. We're the guys with the say-so. We're the guys that can be movers and shakers. Women have to fight 10 times as hard to do what we can do with a flick of our wrist. And I mean that OC too. If I was a woman, the shit I say in these talks would have gotten my ass banned, beaten, collared, fucked over. There'd be people on the gorums, the SL gorums, losing their mind that fucking chick stood up every week and said the shit she said. So we do have the power, and so it is our responsibility. That's my opinion. And yes, I keep relighting because of what I'm smoking. Esbjorn, you're up next. Okay, Esbjorn says, so you're telling me that it is my responsibility to stand up and club GE women, torture, mutilate bandits, and other ungreeing idiocy like their baby's fields. I mean, hey, if you want to take the leash off, I'm all happy to go bury my foot knee deep in people's asses. No, I'm not saying that, shockingly. I'm kind of surprised that you thought I was saying that. But no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it is our responsibility as men to be the movers and shakers and to set the limits of what the SL Gorean community puts up with and doesn't put up with. If somebody comes to your sim and they're just wacky smacky, they're just nuts, and they're just doing all this crazy ass shit, and they're torturing and they're killing and they're being a prick and they're being this, it's your responsibility to either A, get them the fuck off your sim, or B, counter them all the way down the line. It's not, I'm not saying, hey, let's start a little war. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you start at home. A new broom sweeps clean, okay? I'm saying it's our responsibility to no longer allow other men to stand up and pull bullshit and quietly, silently do nothing. And by doing nothing, in effect, giving our support. Alright? Every time, listen, here's an incident that happened some time ago. Some time ago, some Yahoo sent out a notice. And he sent out a notice to the Torvalds Land Group. And basically the notice pretty much said, I'm gonna paraphrase and sum up here. Pretty much said that he didn't want to have nothing to do with anything run by women. So he no longer felt we should go to Sims that OC were run by women. And he no longer wanted to, be involved with groups that the group had been put together by women, or that the women were moderators on, and that he would no longer accept moderation on Sims from mods when mods were called, if the mods were women. This was all OC, okay, all OC. And basically then there was crickets, okay, the sound of tumbleweeds, sagebrush blowing across the dry plain. And what I'm saying is it's our responsibility as men to, in moments like that, stand up and publicly, since he decided to put it into the Torvalds Land Group, go, are you out of your cocksucking mind? Are you nuts? What the fuck's wrong with you? Well, that's ridiculous. I'm going to call you on your bullshit. I'm going to call you on your bullshit. Not in a way that's just going to become some sort of fucking, crap. Just somebody has to stop the tide. Somebody has to stop the tide. And if nobody's going to stem it, who else is there but us? Angelica, you're up next. That's true, Ryder. Being strict is not being cruel. There is a difference. That is absolutely right, Ryder. That is absolutely right. Being strict does not mean cruel. Cruelty comes from a sense of idleness. Cruelty has no support. Cruelty has no heart or reasoning to it. cruelty is often simply cruelty for cruelty's sake. I mean, that's almost the definition of cruelty, is that it exists merely for its own sake. Once again, Angelica, you're up, and I'll read your comment out. Yes, you can't, though. That's more of a meaning. What's behind it? I'm talking more about the act, but I agree with you, Novus. I do agree with you. After Angelica says what she's going to say, we're going to... I'm not talking about... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had another exclamation point after Esbjorn. Yeah, and you did. So, oh well. Okay, no problem. Moving right along. Lord Trent. Lord Trent, you're up next. I see. I understand. All right. Thank you, Esbjorn. Thank you, Angelique. Yes, I mean, often cruelty just exists for its own self. It's just, you know, what, ha-ha, look what I can do. Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. And there, by the way, is a difference between harshness and cruelty as well. When do you think, Lord Trent asks, so when do you think discipline becomes cruelty? First of all, it becomes cruelty when it is without understanding. When it discipline, let's address this for a minute as best I can. Discipline is the act of bringing someone back in line with a set of understood standards. You acted outside of whatever the standards are, emotionally, physically, socially, etc. Now you must be disciplined to try to bring you back inside the standard. So the first place it becomes cruelty is when the standard isn't spoken or understood. If you punish a slave for doing something wrong that there is absolutely no expectation she or he could have ever known what was right, then you're being cruel. Okay? So if I say to you, your job is to clean the house, and I come back and you've cleaned the shit out of the house. You've cleaned the shit out of the house. And I say, when you clean the floor, did you clean the floor with the special brush that's on, floor cleaning brush, that's on the 16th shelf of the back pantry that isn't labeled floor cleaning brush? And you say, no, I had no idea it was even there. Boom, I punish you. Okay? Now I'm just being a kind of a prick. And I don't accept the answer of, oh, well, you should have asked. No, I told you to clean the house and you cleaned the fucking house. Okay? Yes, I agree with Novus. Instruct, then discipline for later infraction. When does discipline become cruelty? When it goes too far. When the punishment does not fit the crime. Anybody else here remember the Mikado? Okay, the Mikado, let the punishment fit the crime. When I say, make me a turkey sandwich. Bond runs off, makes me a turkey sandwich, brings it back, and it's a steak sandwich, a Bosque steak sandwich. And I go, didn't I tell you to make me a turkey sandwich? And she says, oh, yeah, but, you know, whatever. You know, and I go, was there turkey? Oh, yeah, there was turkey. So you just brought me a steak sandwich instead of a turkey sandwich because you just felt like it? And she goes, yeah. And I go, have this girl drawn between 4 bosques to the tautness of the ropes and given 500 lashes. Wow, it's a sandwich. You cruel-ass motherfucker. It's a sandwich. Yeah, okay, fair enough. What's a turkey? But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you didn't need that Pepsi. You fucking had Pepsi. You're fucking drinking Pepsi. You should have been drinking Coke to begin with. Alright? So I believe it also becomes cruel when the punishment doesn't fit the crime. So I think those are the 2 biggest areas. The third biggest area, I think, is when it becomes diabolic. when basically you're just trying to dream up some sort of crazy, torturous shit in your head, then it's become cruelty. Michael, you're up next. Go right ahead. What if you're a prick character-wise? Okay, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. Some people roleplay being pricks. Here's the difficulty. If you're roleplay being a prick, you're oh, wow, this is harsh. This is harsh. Okay, look. If you're roleplaying being a prick, then you're in the same camp, in my book, as if you have made the choice of, as a woman, of roleplaying an uppity, bitchy, in-your-face free woman. Okay? If you come to SL Gore and you're a female player and you decide to roleplay a bitchy, uppity, in-your-face, what are you gonna fucking do? Free woman. You have absolutely no business OC feeling bad or OC Let's start off with the situation between some masters and some slave girls. Look, I understand. There are princess slaves in SL Gore. I get it. I've met a few. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. What I am saying is that the way you fix that situation is not by breaking down and acting more cruel towards the rest of them. That is not the answer. That is not how you fix the princess slave situation. I want to know what pinhead trapped that the hell up. Oh, well, we've got a problem over here with this chick because she thinks she's all spoiled and thinks she should actually be in charge, doesn't understand her role, doesn't role play well, doesn't understand the Gorean fiction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw over the good girls. That sounds right. That sounds about right. Listen. We play in a game that has a lot of pointless cruelty in it. Now, I'm not talking about the strength of Gore. I'm not saying, oh, let's make it like Earth, and let's have a UN, and let's have a this and a that. No, bullshit. No, let's stick to the fiction. Alright? If you meet a torturer from the black, a torturer who, they wear black, they're not of the black case, but if you meet a torturer from the Two Chucks, don't expect him to be a nice guy. I get that. I'm not against that. What I'm against is, well, this mead is 1.2 degrees hotter, colder, left, right, or center than the way I want it, even though I didn't specifically tell you the exact temperature of the mead when I told you to get me a mead bond. You should psychically have known that. Back of the head to the mouth. What I'm talking about is when you see some slave girl on the chain of some master, and she doesn't act like a slave girl at all. Oh, she doesn't act like a spoiled princess, she acts like a goddamn animal. What do I mean by that? Do I mean she's feral? Do I mean she has embraced her bestial nature? Do I mean she has become so sexualized that she is owned by that? No! I mean this bitch has to ask him if she can fucking breathe. May I breathe now, master? Are you fucking shitting me? Are you kidding me? May this girl blink now, master? May this girl's heart pump now, man? May this girl continue to have autonomic functions now, master?
Why, yes, little one, you may.
Man, I want to kick both of them the hell off the sim. And it's not just, let me just say this to Raven. not just men's misconception of what gore is really about. It's across the board. I have met many a cruel-ass panther. Panthers captured men. During the time of the moon dance, they used men. Otherwise, they shaved their heads and sold men. Okay? And yes, there is such a thing as being too nice, too. But that's not a goddamn problem. And I guarantee you, I swear to you, and anybody who's ever been to any of my talks before knows I mean this. If we ever get to the point in S.L. Gore where everything's so nice and so sweet and so saccharine that my goddamn blood sugars goes off, and I'm a fucking diabetic, so trust me, I'll notice, okay? I will personally get up here and have a talk about it. I'll get up here and I will call names and I will do what needs to be done and say, now you've gone too far. Okay? But I am not going to stand up here and mention that there is a probability of too much rain when I've got too much goddamn fire. Okay? I've got too much fire right now. I gotta deal with the goddamn fire. I'll deal with rain some other day, and I'm not talking about Rain the physician. Okay? Yes, there's just enough of you, Rain. I'm sure all the Bonds agree. There's just enough rain to go around. But I'm not gonna have an argument in a burning building about fire prevention. What we've got right now is too much cruelty. Now, in a talk I had a couple of weeks ago, I said we had a question, and the question was about Korean pets. And the inevitable thing that comes up, did Kerr screw their human pets? And we all know that the answer from the fiction is no. Alright? No, they did not. But what I said then and what I stand by is, if they want to go behind closed doors, alright, or closed caves, or with the closed spaceships, and they want to have their kinky human Kerr sex, that's their business. That's not my business. It only becomes my business when it's put up in my face, out and open, in main chat, on the ground. Then suddenly I'm stuck with this fucking situation and going, well, it's outside the fiction. Fuck, now I gotta deal with that shit. Alright? But if that's what gets their rocks off, then let them do that in their time and their space. I support that. Just as, if what gets you and your girl, or you and your boy, or how the fuck ever your combination works, okay? If what gets your rocks off is an incredible amount of cruelty, alright, and harshness, and depersonalization, and just, oh my god, over-the-top fucking punishments, then do that. Do that. I support that. In your place, behind your closed doors, on your closed ship, on your closed cabin, what the fuck ever. But when you bring it into main chat, and you bring it onto the sim in public, now all of a sudden I gotta deal with that. What I'm told is that I should have no impulse whatsoever about what anybody does with their slave. And yet, I have an impulse about what people do with their bosks and their kalia. If I saw a man beating a kalia to death, because, I don't know, it just pissed him off. He was just in a mood. I'd say, what the fuck are you doing? You're beating an animal, you son of a bitch. I'm a gorean. I have an appreciation for nature. And animals. And little flowers. And fucking clouds. Alright? Goreans stand around and watch fucking clouds and give a shit about fucking little flowers, but they don't give a shit if you beat a bosk to death. Just cuz. It ain't a crazed bosk. You don't have gorean rabies. No. You just beating the bosk to death. And no gorean would give a shit. Bullshit! Bullshit, no gorean would give a crap. You get a fucking sword through your gut. Or a fist through your face. And yet I'm supposed to not have any opinion. If I see some girl serve you, I don't know, your crackers are too big, your slice of meat is too small, and you put your fist through her face, I'm supposed to just take that. Well, now, first of all, I'm lucky. First of all, I'm lucky. Because if she happens to be a hall-bond, and you're not the Jarl, you know, you wandered in, I don't know, you're some southern merchant as an example. You wandered in, you're in Iron Hall, you're in Moon and Vox, you're in Holdemere's, you're wherever the hell you are. She serves you, you didn't like it, and you put your fist through her face. I'm lucky, because now I can fucking snap your neck. But the problem here is what we're doing is we're relating to the problem. We're not stopping the problem. We're going, well, how do I get around it? Well, what can I get away with? Well, what can I do and not be called out? Be called a pussy, a wimp, a chump, be lectured, you know, what can I do? And that's incorrect. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of that shit. If there's a problem, then the problem needs to be addressed. Alright, I'm sick of the elephant in the middle of the goddamn room. Oh, we all know there's an elephant, but how can I get around the elephant to watch the TV? And can I get to my favorite chair when the elephant's standing on it? Ah! Oh, there's the elephant again. Oh, well, has anybody fed the elephant today? No, let's get the elephant the fuck out of the house. Elephants don't belong in houses. Yes, I'm sure some of you have gone to the zoo and you've seen the giant elephant houses. Fine. What the fuck ever. You know what I meant. I'm saying, rather than work around the problem, address the problem. And we have all seen this problem in gore. We have seen that people want to play gore as the harshest of harshes, the cruelest of cruelest, the meanest of meanest, and you're not really a man if you're not a fucking son of a bitch. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. I have heard men say, Torvies! Torvies! I have heard goddamn Torvies say that where they're from, it's so harsh, and so cold, and so bitter, and so awful that they don't have time. They don't have time for games like Cassia. They have better things to do than play games like Cassia, and suggest that Cassia is some effete-ass goddamn, oh, I suppose if you're some snob with a bunch of gold and you don't work and you got soft hands, I suppose you play Cassia. But around here, we're real men. We don't have time for games like Cassia. Am I the only one in the fucking room that thinks that's crazy? Am I the only one that read fucking Marauders to realize how fucking off page that is? That is off fucking page. Am I alone in that? Anybody here think that Cassia's some effete-ass goddamn wimp game? Played by, you know, well, it's chess, right? So it's played by the guys with, you know, horn-rimmed glasses and, you know, whatnot. No, hell no. Tarvies love Cassia. Oh, we love northern version of Cassia. That's, you know, that's the proper version of Cassia, northern version. You know, I suppose we could get into fistfights about which is better, northern version or southern. You know. But that's one example. It is symptomatic. It is symptomatic of what's going on. Symptomatic of this disorder, of this disease, okay? Which is gore, which was a harsh world, a perilous world, that did have cruelty, that was hard. isn't hard enough, isn't cruel enough, isn't perilous enough. We need to make it more perilous, more cruel, more, harder, and not in the good hard. We need to make it even worse, even darker. It needs to be darker, because we all love fucking dark. Okay, well that's fine. But then, I get told I'm not by the book, because I'm not playing it that way. So you come into gore, you reinvent it, alright? Like some sort of crazy shit where, I don't know, let's say we're going to do a whole new Batman. He's got guns and he's a drug addict. Okay, well that's your business, right? But that's not fucking Batman. And then when I don't play along with it, I'm the one off page. You just fucking invented something. You pulled it out of your ass, you invented it, and then I'm off page because I'm not playing with it. Listen, gore's already fucking harsh enough. How much harsher does a world whose entire economic situation is based on fucking human slavery need to freaking be? How much more harsh does a world that has no unified unilateral national set, but a series of walled city-states that openly war on each other need to be? How much more harsh does gore is the Australia of the fucking planetary system. Okay, we got plants that want to kill you, insects that want to kill you, reptiles that want to kill you, mammals that want to kill you. Oh, look at the cute little fluffy thing. What? Oh, my arm! Oh, Jesus Christ, my fucking arm! How much harsher did it need to be? It's already fucking harsh. As well as fucking overviewed and overrun and overruled by a secretive cabal of insectal aliens. Oh yeah, fair enough, it was way too Disney. It was way too Care Bear. It was way too fucking happy snappy. No, I get it. It wasn't perilous enough. So let's make it more perilous. Except that's not gore. Except that's not gore. That's not gore. We're told that of gore, tears are not unbecoming. Okay, well that's a double negative, but whatever. Tears are not unbecoming to the warrior. The warrior is a man of deep passions and emotions. Many men cannot even understand his depths. Do not fear your currents and your powers. Okay? In the warrior are the flowers and the storms. Each is a part of him, and each is real, except both deny neither. I'm making that the fuck up. Fucking out of guardsman. It's right there. Deny neither. But what we have is we do have a denial here. We have denial of the flowers and the tears. We have a denial of the beauty. So what does gore become? Gore has become solely about strength. Certainly part of the Gorean model is strength. Certainly. Certainly strength is appropriate to the Gorean model, the Gorean philosophy. But when you have nothing else, then it's just pointless. So now I'm going to discuss that tantalizing little hook in tonight's discussion. Why do Goreans hate puppies? Well, Goreans hate puppies. I don't know if you've noticed, Goreans hate anything cute. I mean, unless it's a slave girl. And then there's a limit. Then there's some sort of ratio between cuteness and cocksucking. Cuteness and putting out. Some sort of logarithmic balance between those two. And if she's too cute, well then she's a pain in the ass too. Goreans seem to not like cute. Now then we could have a debate. Is cute beauty? Maybe it's not. Maybe beauty has a stature to it. Maybe beauty has an elegance to it. I don't know. That's an aesthetic conversation. But goreans don't like baby animals. Goreans don't like children. You're not allowed to have children on your fucking sim. Now, here comes the debate. Everybody is going to come in and say, oh, well, it's about the TOS, and it's about this, and it's about pedophilia, and it's about so-and-so, and it's about so-and-so, and it's about so-and-so. Bullshit! Those are dodges. That's crap. I've seen sims that addressed every one of those fucking issues and nobody would go around them. Goreans don't want kids on the fucking sim. Goreans, when you end up with a fucking collar on your neck, okay? When you end up with a fucking collar on your neck, you have no business bitching about it. By that same token, if you're a guy and you come in and you play a prick, I mean a real son of a bitch, the kind of guy who drinks a lot of mead and then pisses in another guy's helmet, you know, the kind of guy who insults people's kin, the kind of guy who, you know, wipes his ass with the table furs, okay? I mean a real cocksucker. Then you have no business bitching or complaining when some other guy beats you the fuck down, okay? When you get exiled out of halls, when you get fucked over, because, well, you play a prick. And I have played a prick. I have played bad guys. I have played bad fucking men before. And I never felt bad when I got mine. You know, when the good guys rallied against me, I felt good about it. Because that's part of playing a bad guy. Part of playing a bad guy is to be an inspiration to the good guys to be good guys. So if you roleplay a prick, that's your business. If you do it well, and you're an OC, a great human being, I may actually want you to sign on as my enemy because I, you know, don't have any decent enemies. But yeah, but if you're gonna be if you're gonna play a role like that, you have to accept that, you know, you're gonna get yours eventually. Does that make sense? Anybody else? Did I miss any? Let me look back here, Michael. I don't think I've missed anybody else. Anybody else have any other questions? Comments? Commentary? Amusing anecdotes? Alright. Yeah, see, I gotta agree with what Wynn just said there. I have utter respect for you if you're a nice guy, OC. I have had villains that I have played with. I have had territorial and hereditary enemies that I have role-played with before, and when they're great guys, OC, and we can hang out OC and chat in IMs, and we can fucking, you know, just be a, you know, have a couple of beers or whatever, I don't mind all the shit that happens in character, because I know he's a good guy. I know he's a good guy. I know he's not secretly being a prick to fuck with me, you know? And too often, in SL Gore, what we have is the guys who are coming against you as enemies are doing it because, well, they're not role-playing. They want to fuck you over. You know, if I could take anything out of SL Gore, hell, if I could take anything out of Gore, period, I would take out the black case. You know, I would take out the black case. Why? Because the black case guys are bad guys? No, not because of them. Not because of them. But because anybody and their dog can hire him on any, you know, you know. And it's just a way to not fulfill your own responsibilities. Nah. Black case fulfill a function. I'm just saying I wish people didn't use them the way they use them. But that is in character. We know from the book that basically anybody can hire a black case for anything. They don't have written contracts, verbal contracts. You say, I need you to kill so-and-so, you pay them, it's done. It's just, it becomes petty. And what I dislike about SL Gore is pettiness. because this is not supposed to be a fiction of pettiness. And so it bothers me two ways. A, it bugs me because I don't like pettiness. And B, it bugs me because it flies in the face of, you know, what I'm here certainly to play with. Anyone else have any other questions or comments? Just type exclamation point. Yeah, the mark is going to die. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that. By the same token, neither is the South. Nobody's going to die. Okay? That would be unprofitable. Well, since I think we're all finished up, I thank you again for coming to these talks. It is honestly an honor to me to see you all here every week. It really means a lot to me that anybody would ever want to listen to my ass talk about anything. And I appreciate each and every one of you, particularly those of you who are here every goddamn week. God bless you. Please, when you leave here, and when you leave here, go role play. Go have some fun. Make this world come a little more to life. Don't just go back to your homes and your private little staring at the walls. Get out there and do things, because when we do things together, we make things happen. But when you go back to that, please take with you that Gore was an aesthetically beautiful world that appreciated nature, and that goreans, even the warriors, appreciated clouds, small flowers, that tears are not unbecoming, terrible double negative. Tears are not unbecoming to a warrior, and enjoy that. There's depth here. There's depth here. Play in the heights and play in the depths, and let no one who has got their head up their ass tell you you have to have your head up your ass too, or you're not welcome in the Head Up the Ass Club. I bid you peace. I bid you strength. Good night.